Hello friends, this is Growl, and welcome to Wafflecat Weekly number 57, the official Wafflecat Weekly of Diablo 4. I know this is a primarily WoW channel, but I think even WoW players will agree that Diablo has been a pretty historic and amazing part of a lot of our lives. I'm very much looking forward to Diablo 4. That's kind of why I've been missing a little bit lately, because I know I'm kind of gonna give up my WoW for maybe a couple weeks. Sure, it won't be too long. This Dragonflight music is banging. Yeah, so really looking forward to that. I'm also massively, let's call it, adjusting my sleep schedule. Game comes out, I think, at 6 o'clock my time. 6 p.m. So, yeah, we're trying to get used to sleeping in and seeing how that goes. But enough Diablo talk. Let's open some boxes. I have only 2 boxes this week. I admittedly haven't been doing weekly keys, but hopefully we'll get back to that soon once we kind of figure out how the meta is shaking up. And one is on my priest, one is on my shaman. My priest has a full heroic clear. My shaman has 1 mythic, 2 heroic, and 2 mythic plus, I believe. 20s. So, let's jump in. We're still looking for the shield trinket. It's going to be one of our most important raid drops, along with tier sets. So we're gonna make sure we open as a healer spec. Oh, there it is. All right, so we have a 437 shoulder. 430. Yeah, we'll just take this. We're not gonna think too hard. We're not gonna think too hard. We'll take this. This is gonna be a really nice trinket for priest, I think. It's another Giga shield and Bazinga. That is what we are looking for precisely. And then possibly I'll make an elk stone with haste, or maybe I get lucky and get a dragon scale. Maybe I'll start doing some viewer raids and try and get a dragon scale in this guy. So there we go. Happy about that one. Let us check out our shaman now. See, that's how you get items. You just have to be a casual player like me, you know, just a civilian gamer, multi-game enjoyer, classic Andy. That's how you get the Bisaloot. Alright, so like I said, our shaman is 1 mythic, 2 heroic in the raid, and then 2 20s in the keys. And we are looking for... we wouldn't mind a higher level one of these, but it's not going to be super big priority. We have our 4-piece. Yeah, gearing kind of sucks this patch. Anyway, let's open our box and let's see what we get. And okay, so a 447 tier piece. We like to see this. A 447 back, but this is I'm gonna be using. I really like this spore cloak, by the way. I was on the fence about it because it's kind of paddy. It also has mastery on it, which lowers your damage. I really like the shield for Mythic Plus, so I'd highly recommend crafting this cloak on probably pretty much any healer. Okay, so we have this tier chest, which is looking like what we're gonna pick. 441 chest. This is a heroic weapon. This is, yeah, so hey, I mean, we got a 447 tier on our shaman, and we got a good trinket on our priest. Not a bad week. Alright, let us equip this. Let's grab a new enchantment for waking stats. And we will talk about the affixes a little bit, since we do want to get in some weekly keys before Diablo starts. Here's the mailbox. I realize that I often walk all the way to this mailbox, when there's actually just a mailbox right here. Seems like something people would normally be angry about in the comments. Okay, so we enchant this, and Bazinga. So, this week's affixes are Fortified, Afflicted, Raging. That's it. Gosh, the keys still look weird, only having 3 affixes on there instead of 4. But I really do like it. I think it puts a lot more emphasis on the dungeons and the dungeon limits instead of the affixes. Although I will say that now that all of the difficulty comes from the dungeons, some of the dungeon balancing issues sort of stick out more than others. You know, whereas normally you would get held back by explosive and wiped to that, you're always wiping or getting stuck by the dungeon, which I guess I'm starting to learn now is a blessing and a curse. Especially with dungeons that are new every season, it can be hard for them to make all of them balance. But let's talk about Afflicted, because this is the first week that we've had Afflicted. So Afflicted is going to be very similar to Incorporeal in the sense that on a timer, every so often, 1 or 2 of these ghosts will spawn, and you must deal with them. However, to deal with them, instead of CCing them, like Incorporeal, you dispel them. Now, it's very important to note, it is not a magic dispel. It has to be poison, disease, or curse. So, for example, if you are a shaman and you use your Purify Spirit, you need to have the talent that removes curse effects in order for it to work. So, if you are a healer, I would make sure that you have your bonus improved dispel on every class. Even if you're not a healer, if you have a dispel, you should probably have this. Because if you do not have this, you will not be dispelling it. You do have the option, if you can't dispel it, to heal it up. But unless there's a dispel in the pack and your dispel is really tight, I would always encourage you to use dispel. It's extremely low mana, it's instant cast on every healer. It's going to be the most efficient way to deal with them. However, just note that you can heal up the Afflicted if necessary. So certain heals work, certain ones don't. So some things to talk about are, I want to say I think Cloudburst and Healing Stream do work, but maybe they don't. They worked at some point on beta. I do know that most smart heals, though, aren't working. So, for example, I don't think Ancestral Guidance works, maybe. I know that, like, Convoke won't cast on it. I know that Nature's Vigil and the Priest one won't work. So you do have to kind of like manually heal them. But I do think ground effect heals will work. You can also do stuff like chain heal off of them. Again, though, I do want to emphasize that you don't want to spend too much time healing them unless you absolutely have to. You'd always prefer to dispel unless your dispel is busy. One thing that works that non-shamans are very upset about on Twitter is Poison Cleansing Totem. This worked on the beta and it still works now. You can throw down the Poison Cleansing Totem and it'll deal with all the Afflicted during its duration. So personally, if I was to be playing Shaman this week, I would probably look to find a way to incorporate Improved Cleanse and Poison Cleansing Totem in every single one of my builds. I'd probably run something like this exactly, and not change too much. Unfortunately, Shaman just has so many good talents on this side of the tree that you end up losing some throughput with Cloudburst, not being able to take Totemic Surge or Swirling Currents, but Surging Shields and all this other stuff is so good. But that's enough Shaman talk. So yeah, you guys get the idea. The affixes, it's really, really not tough. Also, Raging has been changed too. I believe there's already been a Raging week, so I won't go through it super in depth. However, Raging now does not increase the mob's damage, but it makes them un-CCable. So once a pack is getting low, you can't stun or fear or whatever. I believe you can still kick the mobs. Keep that in mind. It's going to be a little weird as a tank, both because you're used to Raging doing a lot of damage, and so you like kite it. You know, like you almost start to kite because you're realizing it's Raging, but not only do you not need to kite, but also you can't kite as well because your team can't slow the stuff. So yeah, a little different, but you'll get used to it. It's also much, much easier. So that is that. We'll see if there's a Wafflecat weekly, tomorrow, or next week, sorry. I'm very, very excited for D4, as I'm sure a lot of you guys are too. I'm kind of on the fence. I haven't been, I'm strongly considering, let's not say strongly, let's say I've been thinking about making videos for either Hardcore Classic or Diablo 4. I don't know about Diablo 4 yet. I don't know how good I'm going to be at the game or if I have important stuff to say, but I might, and I plan on playing it a lot. I hope, I would assume that if you've made it this far into this specific video, that you're probably a longer-term viewer of the channel. I really do appreciate you, and I definitely don't want people to get the message that I'm, like, sort of done making videos for WoW, and I don't want to, like, go on a big break of not really making that many videos and then, like, put out videos for another game as if I'm sort of, like, transitioning away, because that's definitely not the message, I guess. I don't know. WoW is just, it's been really, really tough for me because WoW has been changing so rapidly, and I also just haven't been playing quite as much, and that I haven't really felt like I've been able to make super good videos, and by the time I have stuff ready, you know, things change, the dungeons change, things get nerfed. Like, yeah, I could kind of put out, like, little quick videos, and I probably should, but, either way, my only message is that if I do end up rolling out a video on either Hardcore Classic when those servers come out, or Diablo 4, if I have stuff that I want to talk about there, don't think of it as, look, I still love WoW, and I still watch tons of Twitch, and it definitely makes me sad when I see in the Twitch chat, where's Grawl, where's yumytv, and everyone's like, oh, he quit. He doesn't like WoW anymore. He quit for Classic. And I know they're kind of joking, but it's like, I didn't quit. I still like WoW. Like, I'm just kind of chilling. It's an early season. I'm kind of like, if I could say one thing about the game that I'm not happy with right now, it's just that the dungeon, like the early season sort of dungeon balance, it feels almost like, unless I want to go really, really hard and I'm like spamming dungeons just to practice, it doesn't really feel like there's a whole lot of reason for me to play right now, because I'm just sort of like waiting for all these tuning changes to happen, and I'm waiting for the catalyst, I'm waiting for like the paladin rework in 10.1.5, like it just kind of feels like I'm just like sitting here waiting, but I don't know. Anyway, that was kind of a weird rant. I don't even know if I said anything, but maybe maybe a couple people understood. I will be streaming a bunch of Diablo 4. I do kind of want to stream some more Hardcore Classic too. But I've also just really been enjoying the community aspect of it. A lot of the reason that I don't stream it is just because I like watching other streams and being a chatter as well while I'm playing, so apologize for that, but yeah. Okay, this rant has gone on too long. We open up some boxes. Good luck with your keys. I'll see you in the Diablo 4 streets, I hope. And happy keying and Diablo 4ing, friends.